The NFL Week 18 and season recap, NFL season recap of the Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code BOMBS to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. And with that, we will start the show on the new year, on the 2025, the real one this time, the one on Monday. So here we go. Bombs. Welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, the Laddie Daddy, the Deli Llama, the Deli Roll, Scumbagger Vance, the man in the box. CJ Sullivan, Narcavelli, used to be known as a man in these parts, but now I'm here for you, the man in the box. He just have it on January 6th, the first actual day of the new year. Monday. Welcome to the Degenerates alike. JC from KC already popping up into chat. If you're watching on X, come on over to YouTube. Yeah, we can get into chat like JC and join us. How you doing, JC? You got Yeah, today's Monday. Coming from Eagle Rock, California. Today feels like the first actual day of 2025. This is a Monday of all Mondays. It seems like we've had 3 or 4 of them all throughout last week. Because you had the Christmas on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, whatever it was, and New Year's on a whatever it was. It was just stretched out forever, and now, oh God, reality hit. This is it. Finally, the new year. We're going to do it. We're going to do this 2025. Apparently, we're going to go through with it. So it starts today. Time to whip into shape. Resolutions start today. Your dry January. If you're doing that nonsense. That's today. All starts today. Not happy about it. I'm not changed at all. I tried to do the aggressive thing. I got a scale. I got an Aura ring, both for Christmas. Huge mistakes. Terrible. Got on them today. All right, fine. First day, Monday. I was, living like a goddamn French king all week last week. It'll start Monday. It catches up to you. And the numbers are right there. I don't like all the numbers and stats and the analytics in my shame. I just like a good old fashioned mirror shame or feel bad shame. Now I got apps telling me how terrible I'm living. And they're not just scales anymore. You think like, oh, there's your weight, got to drop a few pounds. No, now it's telling your BMI and your bone, it's a muscle index. And all you got all kinds of numbers you got to compute of how bad you're, how bad it's going. And sleep numbers, don't even get me started. You think you slept good? No, you didn't. Not if you look at this app, you didn't. So I don't know what the point is. Anyway, here we go. Feach Lamagna says, I'm a degenerate in the Mike Tomlin voice. That is good. Where is that one? He is, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't even get the new soundboard yet. I have the soundboard. I will have Thursday for sure. I can't do this anymore. I can't keep, I'm already falling behind on 2025. And on my checks, I'm still writing. Can you believe this? Can you still, even though we're a week into it now, pretty much, I'm still writing on all my checks because I write a check every day. You know how prominent checks are in our society. Grocery store, I'm writing a check. At the flower shop, I'm writing a check. At the package store, do you take personal checks? Of course, Mr. Sullivan. No, everyone does that check joke writing premise. And I'm like, who writes checks anymore? Anyway, can you believe it's January 6th and I'm still writing, I have a gun, don't be a hero, hand over all the cash and all my checks. Can you believe I'm still doing that? Oh, man. Anyway, maybe we'll do 2025 next week. I thought I was ready for this month. I'm not ready for it. All right. You know what? Next week is the new year. That's it. Officially new year. Next week, new year. or D's next show. I had to scrub last episode because David Guetta's team came after me. That son of a biscuit. World famous DJ David Guetta. I that dart video got me excited. And I played the Sia song there of Titanium. Oh, you can't play that. They come right at you. Get that off your bottom line bombs. We gotta have you. I'm not profiting, David Guetta. You. Nothing like a multi-millionaire DJ coming after you. That's great. You're a true artist, you piece of shit. Sia wouldn't care. Sia's a Sia generate. I know for a fact. She's a Sia generate. She would love it. Love my song on her. She's great. I can relate to Sia. She's the one that never shows her face. She has one out there. Great singer. I can't relate to her being a great singer at all, but Ronnie Pasco says David Guetta is a secret bottom line bomb fan. Yeah, that's true too. Maybe he was listening and that's how he heard it. Maybe he has none of the technology to pick it up. Oh man. JC says reminds me of the Flacco Freebird mashup last episode was epic. I know. Well, and that's funny you say that, JC, because the first time I did that Freebird with JC, they did come for me for that, and I did have to take that down. And then I did it again last week. But I did it through the third parties. I played the clip of the clip, thinking that would fool them, and they didn't come for me for that. So granted, I'm pushing buttons over here, but God forbid I get noticed. I should. It's not me to say the case because I'm on the Sports Gaming Podcast Network, and I'm very grateful for that here. But I wonder if they would go to battle with me. I wonder if Sean and Ryan could get some degen lawyers out there that can go to battle with me against David Guetta. Get some attention out here. We got to stay in the news. Fox Sports 1 is in the news for all the fun reasons. We got to get out there. Get our scandalous story up there. I'll talk about that during the Man in the Box segment, the Fox Sports 1 stuff. It's pretty incredible. Jimmy Buffett would never come after the bottom line bombs, Ron Pasco. You're damn right he wouldn't. We played a lot of Buffett. Now, if I was selling his merch, he would, and as well as he should be. He'd be in his right to do so. R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett, one of the first artists to really take possession of the merch. But as far as artist to artist, he would love it. He would love his music being shared, especially in a comedy gold skit, in an honor situation, whatever it was. Anyway, so yeah, 2025 hasn't started off perfectly, but January is a fun month. Yeah, the NFL playoffs, they're here. Make sure you tune in to Sports Game Podcast Network for all of your NFL picks and props. And then, of course, their season wrapped up yesterday, week 18. Not the best as far as the million contest, although we wanted to hit losers, although I don't even think we had enough. We couldn't even lose enough to lose right. We were just stuck in the middle. I think I gave out 1 and 4 picks. I think I gave out Giants, who unbelievable. New York Giants, congratulations. And they're bringing the coach, they're bringing Dable back, they're bringing the GM back. The owner's like, yeah, we're all terrible. We don't have the right players. We can't do anything right, so we're doing it again. Okay. Did you guys tank for the draft pick? Yes. No, we just couldn't beat the Eagles' second team players. Okay, so you're going to bring back that GM whose starters can't beat another team's backups? Yep, that's what we're doing. Speaking of Flacco, we took the Colts -5, went down to 3.5, still wasn't a cover. They won in overtime. Good for Flacco. He had a nice game. Vikings got destroyed last night. That was fun. That was the only game that really mattered last night was that Vikings-Lions. And then we're like, oh, that's right. Sam Darnold's awful. Did we forget that? Oh, man, we almost gave him an MVP. Thank God this game happened. Woo, that was a close call. I mean, literally, the last minute, we were engraving his name, and we forgot. He's Sam Darnold. He stinks. He doesn't stink. He's had a great year, but he did not look good last night. Overthrowing, 10 wild overthrows. Even Goff didn't look great until the second half when it started clicking, but Anyway, that happened. We won Arizona. We won. Jets was a great game too. I'll get into all that week 18 a little bit. There's a lot of garbage games. I went to the Rams game. I was boots on the ground at SoFi. Rams Seattle. That's why I like week 18. I like when it's laid back and not too intense. Went to the first of all, Seahawks crowd. I'm not saying they're out there. They showed up. It wasn't quite the turnout. Like I don't when I went to the Eagles Rams game a month ago or so. That was obviously a different atmosphere. It was a Sunday night game. Eagles fans were like 60-70% of the stadium. It was intense. It was screaming. It was a party. Seahawks fans, well, a little more laid back, kind of a coffee shop atmosphere a little bit. I mean, one Seattle fan asked me to look after his laptop while he went to the bathroom. That's what kind of vibe was going on there now. Week 18 Seattle Rams game. Yeah, buddy, I'll don't. No one will steal it. All right, keep an eye on it. It was great though. The Rams tailgate. If you ever go to, I love SoFi. I know Kobe Dundee hates it, but it's like a television studio. It's like you're watching a TV show. It's incredible. Tailgate lot was lit. You get like I said, with the Rams games, you get all kinds of music. You get the mariachi music. You get a DJ. You get rappers. You get a rock girl. You have like a Lita Ford rocker. You have everything going on. Jimmy G. I bet personally, Rams plus 7.5. They got the cover. Jimmy G almost pulled it off. Jimmy Garoppolo. Him and Gino. I already said him and Gino. Jimmy G and Gino going at it. It looked like a prequel to Pulp Fiction. Like that was Jules and Vince. But Jimmy G, my goodness graciousness. The women like him. The women like Jimmy Garoppolo, if you didn't know. During the national anthem, they show him. They just show him on the screen. And every woman swooned. Like an old-fashioned swooning. Oh! And you heard it loud. It was like a waving noise. A little disrespectful, to be honest with you. A little disrespectful to the national anthem. Expect a little more out of you, LA women. LA women. I better not sing that, too, or Jim Morrison will come after me. But it was incredible. And then after that, they just started showing all these little fucking thirsty heartthrob Garoppolo photos up there. And oh, boy. And he's great. And I can see why he's been a quarterback and paid his entire life. He's not a good quarterback. He's good enough. Then he makes terrible decisions. But he's handsome. And that's all you want and that's all coaches want and look for. They think, and there's been studies on this, that we just want our quarterbacks to be good looking. We don't care if they're good or not, but we assume they are. Like Jimmy Clausen, Brady Quinn. These guys are terrible, but they're handsome. So they got shot right through the ranks, and that's Jimmy G. Good for him. Meanwhile, Geno Smith almost threw 5 touchdowns, that bastard. Anyway, Niners almost pulled it off. They did get the cover, though. It was a great game. I bumped into who did I bump into somebody to? Oh, I bumped into Big Abe. Shout out to Big Abe. I told him I'd give him a shout out. Former he is a bodyguard. I don't know if he still does that security work. Now he does not do security work. He's in a ministry. There's a guy I used to be on the road with. He wasn't my bodyguard, but the guy I opened for, it was his bodyguard. And I haven't seen him in a while since then. And it was good talking with him. But he's like, yeah, I'm in a ministry now. And he's like super religious. You ever bump into an old friend who's like all of a sudden they're super religious, like out of nowhere? It was kind of weird. He had some ministry friend with him who looked really like, well, I don't want to throw the word cult around, but it was a bit weird. He wanted to pray for me. They wanted to pray. Can we pray for you? Sure. Toss a prayer in for me. Can you help me on the 50-50? Can you do that? Can we get Jimmy G to get 2 touchdowns? I got that at 100-1. Damn it. Anytime would have been fine too. Plus 14. You know what? I should have been greedy. That was my problem with the prayer. I'm new to the whole receiving prayer from someone, especially in a Puka Nakua jersey. You know, it's weird when a large 6'7" man in a Puka Nakua jersey is praying for you, but that's what happened to me at SoFi. And I said, yeah, can we get a little Garoppolo 2 touchdowns, 100-1? Can you toss that in there? He did not. But good to see him. I guess we're all blessed. I mean, I don't know what to say when he says that. Can you pray? Yeah, sure. I guess. What do I have to do? Do I hold you? You hold me? Do I jump? Like, are we like lambs? What is this? How's this work? See, it's all these new religion people. Like I said, I grew up in a Catholic school, altar boy, the whole damn business. So I know it's a crock. I don't want to shit on anyone else's religion here, but like when you see it from the ground floor, you realize how there's some bad things that go on in there. But you know, it helps people out. Who am I to get in the way? It's just I'll just say it's no coincidence. The last time I saw him, he was in a desperate place, not doing well, and then all of a sudden something comes in and preys on that desperation. Oh, well, look how you turned around. But hey, whatever turns you around, turns you around. And maybe speaking of desperation and peddling that, let's do a gambling ad. We'll talk about those addictions, right? How about DraftKings? We're back with DraftKings on sponsorship. Speaking of the company will love this ad. Speaking of preying on desperation, we're talking about NFL playoffs and how to gamble on it. Take your wife's money. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings. Number one place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app. Make your pick. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code SGP. That's code SGP for new customers. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. All right. Well, I don't feel too ugly about that. All right. Let's go to the chat room here. We are back into Bottom Line Bombs. I'm recapping Week 18. I'm going to recap the NFL season as well a little bit. Some year ends. I brought my pouch of pitifulness. Let me close in on that. Pouch of pitifulness. I got some futures in here from August. We're going to see how brutal they are. And I look at that. And of course, we'll do a man in the box. Thank you for commenting, coming on to YouTube. I love the chat room is already lit. Stevie Elridge is here from North Carolina. He said he did plane travel over the holidays. Never again. Missed the live Bottom Line Bombs too much. Yes, sir. Yes. And Feach says, bombing for Steve. You're damn right. That's a great place. Love it. Ronnie said a prayer for all degenerates. He says, our bottom line Father in the heavens, please let me hit this 5-leg parlay. Bomb that. The Lord and Father. Jesus was a gambler. I bet God would gamble. He'd be into the pleasers. We hit a pleaser, 25-1 on the Veasan show. Anyway, all right, let's get back to that NFL Week 18. What was a lot of fallout from yesterday? The Tyreek Hill story was kind of weird. I know Kramer covered a little bit last night. If you listen to the soundbite, he's talking fine for a while. Like, yeah, we got a bad year. I got to find out what I got to do better. We lost Tua for a lot of games. It was all reasonable. That doesn't help, obviously, if your franchise quarterback's out. That's why we kind of missed the playoffs. And he's right, So Conley did well once he learned, but it was a tough situation for him. And then at the end, something like just triggered. He's like, you know what? I got to say something stupid here. I got to go somewhere. I got to do what's best for my family. I'm gone. I'm out. I was like, what? Why'd you? Now? You sure? You're just about to leave. Yeah, no, put that out there. I want people talking about me. So I don't buy this whole Tyreek Hill wants to leave thing. I don't buy any of this shit. Doug Peterson got fired. Mayo got fired. Peterson, we couldn't believe wasn't fired already. He's in that, like, Gene Wilder still alive question. Like, what? He is? Okay. If you say so. as far as the games goes, I feel like I should go into the games it goes. The games it goes. Then we have the playoffs coming up, but I kind of want to wrap up the season real quick for some reason. The Bears Packers game. What a survivor sweat, by the way. So the Circa Millions, I didn't finish great. Couldn't even hit the booby prize. Survivor, of course, the road to 10 million turned out to be 14 million. Got knocked out of that, of course. But yesterday there was 18 left if you're following that in the Circa contest, and 10 of them got wiped out with the Packers and the Falcons. But at one point, think about this. And I, for one, don't like updates on the Circa Survivor pool after I'm eliminated. That's like hearing about somebody's bracket. I don't give a shit. I don't care about what it is you have to do to win money that I'm not going to win. Especially in Survivor, it's always a bad beat story. Every time you lose, it's going to be a bad beat because you're picking a big favorite. No shit, that shouldn't have happened, but that's what the whole thing is. Anyway, but this was pretty crazy. It's the final week, 18 people. They're about to get, 790,000 each if they all won. Too many people to chop. That is for 14 million. And they had, a lot were on the Packers, a lot were on the Falcons, a couple were on the Colts, a couple were on Tampa Bay, a lot were on Tampa Bay, a couple buddy we knew were on Tampa Bay. Every one of them was a sweat. Packers lost on that field goal. Amazing. Thank God. I love the Bears beating the Packers there. Falcons lost in OT. Tampa Bay had a rally to beat Carolina, but they eventually did. Colts won in overtime. There was a possibility that it was going to come down to one person who had Arizona, and he would have went from 700,000 to 14 million. That would have been nuts. But because Tampa and Colts and them rallied, it turned out to be 1.7. So they got $1 million pay bump. That's pretty nuts. But there's hedging and all that stuff. I was just thinking about that yesterday because we had a guy who was on the show, on the VSiN show, whatever. He's a fan of Sean and Ryan, who had Tampa Bay. And, you can go to Circa and hedge out and get like a marker and get an advance to bet, go bet on the Saints. How degenerate would it be to take that marker from Circa owner Derek Stevens? Okay, I'm guaranteed it's 700,000 if Tampa Bay wins. So let me borrow 700,000, and then instead of betting on Carolina, you bet on Tampa Bay again and double up. That'd be degen. If you lose, you skip town. That would make a story. Put that in your documentary. Anyway, Feach Lamonti says Tyreek Hill is a habitual line stepper. He just likes being fast. I like what he tells his truth too. How was the year for you? Not bad. Great year. Had a daughter. Yeah, we heard about that. You also had 2 sons, another daughter, and triplets with all different women. But, we don't have to mention that. So let's get into the Pats are pitiful. Are the Raiders keeping it? The Chargers. The playoff game, I'll get into the playoffs, I guess, more Thursday. Then we get the bowl game. So we got a good week. We do got a good week coming up. You have Thursday, the Penn State Notre Dame game. And if you're from Philly area, Northeast Philly, what a nightmare that's going to be. Nobody went to Notre Dame, but they're all fans of Irish scumbags out there. They're my people. Then, of course, Ohio State, Texas. And then the playoffs are Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We'll get into that. All right, let's break in. Let me pull up the NFL stats and see how they all turned out. We all know Saquon didn't break the record. Eric Dickerson was at the Rams game yesterday. Oh, was he happy? God, he's happy. It almost, let's see. All right, here we go. Let's bring out the pouch of patheticness. I need a song for that. But I'm afraid to play any songs now. I'll play the college football thing. That sounds good. Okay. College football, even though we're doing. Well, look at this. All right, if you're watching on YouTube, Degenerates, here it is. Here's the pouch. And this is where I put my paper tickets. Look at this stack of paper tickets. This is a full binder full of goodnesses. Oh, my goodness. All right. So this just goes right to the shredder, as they say. Like the New Zealanders, New Zealand lawmakers who go, rah, 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 and they fucking rip it up. All right. Right up the top, we have Will Zalatoris. This is an old ticket here to win the 924 PGA. We'll get rid of that. Giancarlo Stanton, home run lead. We can get rid of some of these baseball ones. Where are the football ones? Hold on. Okay. KJ Jefferson, that's college. All right. Here we go. Okay. These are all ripped up too. First one. This is a 3-team parlay to win the divisions. Detroit Lions plus 135. Did they win? Yes. That's a winner. Hold on. Parlayed with the Jaguars and the Dolphins. That is a loser. That was a big ticket. Why was I so high on those goddamn Jaguars? Ridiculous. Ooh, look at this division winner. This was a why not, Degenerates. This was a why not one right here. This was, and we can officially mark this a loser, Browns and Panthers to win the division. Why not? I'll tell you why not, because it's a loser. But $20 would have paid $2,000 on that one. How can you not do that? All right. Here's the NFL Championship Exacta. Dolphins over the Lions, 145-1. How about Lions over Dolphins? No. Jesus Christ, this one would have paid huge. Saints, Lions, Jaguars, Dolphins. Would have paid $7,000 on 50. No, we're not doing that. All right, Lions over the Jaguars. Man, I got the Lions right. Eagles over the Jaguars. I thought of Doug Peterson. What the fuck was I thinking with these Jaguar tickets? I could have bought another Survivor entry and lost week 2. Okay, Eagles defeat Bengals. This is something. 95-1. Still, it's not going to hit, but. Boy, Kansas City, Carson Wentz. That was a bad play as well. These are all bad plays. I gave out the Chiefs plus 10.5. I thought Carson Wentz was going to do something. He did. He was Carson Wentz. It wasn't really his fault. The line was bad, but no one else played. But good Lord, Kansas City. Tip of the cap to you. They're like, yeah, why would we want the Bengals in the playoffs again? Why would we want that one guy who could beat us? No, thank you. Someone said that. Boy, Kansas City did everything they could to keep Cincinnati out of the playoffs. But not as much as Cincinnati, what they did. The Bengals did a lot more. And the referees helped them in that one game. All right, so that is Eagles over the Dolphins, another loser. Trayvon Walker, Defensive Player of the Year. I give that out a lot. Let's see how that. Let's see. See how much. He was having a lot of sacks for a while. Let me see if I can. This is quarterback. I don't want passing. I want tackles. Here we go. Who led the league in sacks? Trey Hendrickson, because of Russell Wilson falling into him for the last 5. Myles Garrett 14. Did he even come close, Trayvon Walker? Trayvon Walker had 10.5 sacks. Not bad. He had them all in the first half of the season, it seemed like. Tell you what, I don't feel like that's such a bad play. 135-1. Why not? Joey Bosa. Okay, he didn't come close. That's another loss. These aren't even fun. Let me skip ahead. Offensive Player of the Year, Kenneth Walker. That's a loser. Devon A-Chain, that's a loser. Cooper Kupp, oh my God. I went to the Rams game just to put him out the pasture because he deserves respect of that. Garrett Wilson, another bum. Coach of the Year, Doug Peterson. These seems like joke tickets. Coach of the Year, Doug Peterson. Futures, Mike McDaniel. Did I pick anyone that even made the playoffs? Trevor Lawrence MVP. Holy God. Here we go. Jared Goff MVP. Now we're talking. I mean, he's not going to win, but at least it's in the fucking conversation. Christian Watson, most receiving yards. Deontay Johnson. All right, I think I found my funniest ticket. Like Christian Kirk, most receiving yards, 100-1. Okay, he got injured. Whatever. I was high on the Jaguars. Christian Watson, often injured. He had revolutionary hamstring surgery. They're all bad. Rashee Rice, another injury. Couldn't help. Cooper Kupp. Apparently he was terrible. I did not know that. Dak Prescott. I mean, this is amazing. Forget the Madden curse. How about the man in a box curse? I think I injured every single one of these players. Oh, Dak Prescott's most interceptions thrown. Either way, I still got him hurt, so he couldn't win money. Daniel Jones, most interceptions. He got cut. Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, Javonte Williams, losers. Kenneth Walker, Bryce Young, most passing yards. Are we hearing this? What am I talking about? This is getting me depressed. Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence. Jesus Christ. Who did lead the? All right, let me take a look at the pass. So that had to be Joe Burrow, right? Yeah, Joe Burrow had 4,900 yards. Jared Goff 46, right behind him, 300 yards. Then Baker, then Geno. Geno was leading him for a while, and Burrow came out of nowhere. Not nowhere, but 43 touchdowns. Man, he really is the MVP. Look at Burrow's numbers. Jesus Christmas. All right. I just got depressed. All right, let me let me read a few more ads, and then let me tell you about Underdog, and then I'll come back and oh God, what am I talking about here? Maybe I'll go with this is therapeutic. You know, it's time to get it. I should be learning out of this. Because as much as fun as futures are in August, it is, and because you got the whole world ahead of you, spring training, everything's 0-0, clean slate. You got to limit it, and you got to be within reason. Just because that's a huge number, I know I'm the Dalai Lama, and I like the bombs, I like the big numbers, but there's a reason why they are like that. But so far, Deontay Johnson in the running for my worst ticket on there. Anyway, Underdog. Underdog Pick'em is one of the biggest menus for all sports. It's always making it easier with profit boosts and gimme pick'ems. Underdog Playoff Best Ball is now live. The Gauntlet Tournament has 2 million prizes up for grabs with just a $25 entry. NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and more. You can now use specials and boosts on all flexed entries. Sign up with promo code BOMBS to claim your special pick and first-time deposit after $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code BOMBS. And we're back here on the Bottom Line Bomb. Speaking of which, I am your host, CJ Sullivan, the man in the box, scumbagger Vance. The Laddie Daddy. Thank you, everyone, joining me in the chat room. Make sure you subscribe to my Insta. At CJ Sullivan was taken, underscore in between each words, or on X at CJ Sullivan underscore. You know how the deal works. The Bottom Line Bombs. Hit the thumbs up on the YouTube. Get that algorithms going. Let's get it going. My TikTok video. I'm also on TikTok. You got to do. I should just put my email on the trigger too, because I know people have been trying to email me and it's been weird. I couldn't reply back to it. I don't know. I have a Bottom Line Bombs email account. I'll put that on the track. I forget what it is. Anyway, point is, I am on TikTok as well. Basically, I just play my man in the box videos on there. Last one got tagged. Got ripped down. They took it. They're coming after me left and right, C-Generates, 2025. I got David Guetta coming at me for this one. And then I have TikTok saying I'm going across guidelines. And they said I was trying to evade terrorists. Well, not really. Teaching weaponry or something. It was I was talking about the Georgia kid. If you listen to my show, the kid who the ESPN showed on Georgia, who bumped into the referee and they wouldn't stop. They basically doxed him. And I did, a little rant about how they're I said the announcers were like, I don't know who's worse, the Georgia kid or the terrorist in New Orleans, who left from the ISIS killer or this guy who bumped the referee. Obviously a joke. Anyone could tell that, especially if you see my videos. TikTok said I was promoting terrorism, teaching them how to use weapons. I was like, TikTok, this is the man in the box. What are you talking about? They said, well, you have to change the language. You gotta say unalive. Unalive? The hell is that? That makes me feel unalive. I'm so unalive. Can't sing that either. Anyway, so they had that. We're still going back and forth on that. It's been ripped down, but this is what kind of 2025 it is. All right, let me just log back in there. Everything's going wrong for me. First, I tried changing my color of the backdrop there. If you see the thumbnail, it's a brighter color, purplish. I had to tone that down because that reflected bad on here, and everything was going wrong. Unreal. Ronnie Pasco says, I should have went with Joy Taylor most receptions. Rim shot. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a one-liner. That's a good one-liner. Feach says, anyone can climb that corporate ladder. I agree. I'll have my Fox Sports in the box segment. Let me wrap up this patch of pitifulness, and I'll get to the box about that. There's not really much to talk about with the NFL season. This was the one that hurt me. I had a couple tickets on here that actually hurt. This one, I'll hold it up for you guys. This was going to pay 35-1. This was a two-team parlay to win the division. Tampa Bay, which locked up the South yesterday, and Seattle Seahawks. Ronnie Pasco's Seahawks and their coffee-loving crowd. At plus 785. 305, 785. Parlay that 35-1. That was a winner. But Seattle blew it to the Rams. Actually, if it wasn't for Kyler Murray's interception last week in the end zone, that game yesterday would have been for the division. But now they lost in some who knows tiebreaker rule. Just insane. So that one hurt. At least I had a chance on that one. More than a chance. It should have won. Okay. This is a nice one. This is a Jared Goff, Detroit Lions win the Goff MVP, Lions win the Super Bowl MVP. But it's got to be regular season. I thought it was Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, Eagles. That's a loser. Jalen Hurts is not winning the MVP. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Bucky Irving. Now, this isn't a bad ticket. This looks a little better nowadays. Than I was up in the Oregon area. They're telling me, put some money on Bucky Irving, and I did at 150-1. Not too shabby. I mean, he's not going to win, but it's going to Jaden Daniels. That's locked up. It's him or Bo Nix, but it'll probably be Jaden Daniels. Blake Corum, a loser. Braylon Allen, a loser. Cam Akers. This was one of my favorites. Cam Akers, comeback player of the year. I really bought into the Cam Akers Kool-Aid, the Cam Kool-Aid before the season. They wound up trading them. I came and look at this. Is a nightmare ticket. Most sacks. 70-1, Bryce Huff. Okay, this might have passed Deontay Johnson, his worst ticket that I own. Bryce Huff was a disaster this year. Another Blake Corum ticket to lead the division. Ty Spears, most season rushing yards, not even close. Cam Akers, not even close. J.K. Dobbins, touchdowns. Who led the league in NFL rushing touchdowns? I know it wasn't Saquon. Let's go to that. Had to be Derrick Henry, right? I'm sorry. Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs and James Cook all tied for rushing touchdowns with 16. Jacobs right behind with 15, and Jalen Hurts with 14. Bijan 14. Kyron 14. Saquon still at 13. Josh Allen 12. Wow, amazing. So these are all losers. Ray Davis, what the fuck? Chop Robinson, defensive rookie of the year. I can save the Chop Robinson one. He's not going to win either. Darius Robinson, defensive rookie of the year. Quantez Strigg, someone talked me into doing that. And here's the one that really hurt. All this pile of thousands of dollars. It's not thousands, but it adds up. Or as Gary Goldman says, it doesn't add up if you don't add it up. That's the key for all these things not to add up. The key for this not to add up is just don't add it up. This one right here, Malik Neighbors to lead the NFL in receptions, 75-1. Had $100 to win 7,500. That would have got me unstuck. And he was there. He was doing it. Then he got that concussion on the final play of that Thursday night game. And he missed the next game because the next game was short. And then then he went to a Travis Scott concert. So we're like, okay, he's definitely playing the next game. He's at a Travis Scott concert. Nope, he's going to miss that one. What do you mean he's going to miss that one? He was just at a fucking Travis Scott show. That's good for your concussion at MetLife? You see how they do the security. Kids get trampled at those shows. What's he doing down there with a concussion? And he can't play football? I mean, Neighbors had an amazing year. He finished with 109 catches, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, who had the monster year, the Triple Crown, he had 127 catches, 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns. But it went Chase 127, Amron 115, Brock Bowers 112, McBride 111, then Neighbors right there 109. You give him those 2 games, he's at least second place, and he might catch Chase. That would have been it. That would have been the ticket. Oh man, this was a bad idea. Why am I doing this? Who thinks this is a good idea? Looking back, I'm like Russell Wilson. I don't want to talk about past history. We've lived in the past. Enough. The playoffs are ahead of us. That's all that matters. You know what, C. Jones? That's right. The playoffs are all that matters. That's what Russell Wilson said after they lost to Cincinnati on Saturday. I don't want to talk about the past. Well, we got to talk about the past. Like 20 minutes ago, Russ. We don't want you to talk about your childhood here. Not your high school days. We want to talk about 20 minutes ago when you were on the field losing to the Bengals. Can we talk about that? Funny how those moon balls, there must be a lot of lunar eclipse going on in Pittsburgh lately. Remember who told you about that, C. Jens? The man in the box was all over Russell Wilson and his moon balls not being good. Or not being sustainable. Right, Pascal says, should the people storming the Capitol for January 6th on the big screen? Yeah, I know. You're right. I should do that. But I say we should turn January 6th into a holiday. Not as a storm the Capitol holiday, but the actual let's take January 6th back from those clowns and let's make it the holiday of the actual New Year. We get drunk and we celebrate and we kiss people. We pop champagne on the 1st and then on New Year's Eve. Then you have a hangover. And as you get older, that hangover boils into some bowl games and it'll last a little more of a week. Now, January 6th, like, all right, let's do it. Let's change the laws. Let's put on that horned helmet head and steal a podium and actual start the new year. That's what I propose that. January 6th is the actual new year. And don't ever do this thing again of look at old tickets. Look at how many fucking tickets I have. Look at all this. Look at the paper and the passion I bring. You got to love paper tickets, though. I mean, come on, they're the best. A lot of these shout out to Vegas, shout out to DraftKings at Wrigley Field. I got a bunch of those tickets there. And who's a sponsor. I'm feeling weird. I don't really want to talk about the games yesterday. Let's talk. I mean, everyone's talking about that Fox Sports. How can you not? Let's do it, man in the box. Shout out to the chat. Who is lit? Who wants to talk about this? Is like Mike Francesca. Feed says it's like Mike Francesca counting to 56 live on the air, but for the gens. Dog. I'm not gonna do a Mike Francesca impression, but he's pretty hilarious. I was not asleep. Listen. Okay. You feel good? You waited all day to do that? Okay. Dog. The Yankees, they're never gonna do that. I don't even know what impression I'm doing. But Fox Sports, that's the ticket. That's all what people are talking about. Bombshell lawsuit yesterday comes out on Sunday. Started off as a hot ticket. Sexual assault or whatever, the sexual harassment, if you will. Not assault, harassment, I should say. Against Skip Bayless from Fox Sports by a hairdresser. And then that was the big, there's a lot of weird things that happened out of this story. A lot of juicy details. And it just seems like this hairdresser is just throwing people under the bus because you don't tell. That's what these hairdressers do. You don't gossip with hairdressers. They're not lawyers. They're gonna blurt this thing out. There's no privilege there. So Fox Sports, they do a bunch of debate shows and they're all horrible. Just like the ESPN shows, they wanted to replicate that. So they put it, it's nothing but that. You have Akbo, the linebacker. You have Joy Taylor, who's Jason Taylor's sister. She's a smoke show that gets on all these shows. And it came out, that came out that buried the Skip Bayless stuff. The Skip Bayless stuff was weird too. It did not make him look good, obviously. Everyone hates him, so everyone was happy to revel in that. He kept harassing this hairdresser to sleep with her. And she goes, Skip, you're married. At one point comes out, she goes, Skip, you're married. And he goes, yeah, but you're Muslim. Doesn't your dad have like 4 wives? You imagine thinking that's going to work? Skip Bayless is probably in his 70s. Throwing that line out, thinking that's going to make her laugh and work out. I mean, what the fuck? Then she said he offered her $1.5 million to sleep with her. Sleep with him. What? And you said no? Okay. Listen, I mean, that's more, I mean, I get it. All right, if Robert Redford is the $1 million price tag, okay, I can see why Skip Bayless, you'd have to have at least $1.5 million, at least $2 million. So I can see if that's your thing, but still. I mean, that could help out a hairdresser, if you know what I mean. But then the details came out about Joy Taylor, and people went crazy for that one. Because this is like an 80s business story. Like these details, like, you know, shit happens still, but you don't hear about it as much anymore because, like, this is what happened in the 80s. You have a woman sleeping her way to the top, framing a man if he fucks with her. You have men using their power dynamic. You got a guy who won't get fired because he supplies the staff with cocaine. What? Is this 1986? When the fuck did this happen? So Joy Taylor, she was sleeping with Akbo to get on Speak for Yourself. And also this producer who's also married. She was married at the time. I don't even know why this is into lawsuit, which is kind of hilarious too. The hairdresser just toss us in there. I got some more details that are fun. I like to take this bitch down. That's how they are. They just take each other down. And we're here for it. And this is what's amazing. So there's all these scandals happening on, and like, oh, well, boy, it's cut world. And this, dog eat dog world, cutthroat. Well, at least it went for a good reason, right? To put out an amazing product of television. Oh, what's that? It did not. This was all for a show called Speak for Yourself. A piece of trash television. The worst content there is on TV. Fox sports debates of Skip Bayless and Keyshawn Johnson and Joy Taylor producing the worst shit in the world. This is what you're protecting, Fox? How did Fox not settle this lawsuit? You're Fox. How do you let this come out? They must, maybe that's just the way Fox does business. They're like, listen, this happens so often with us. We'll just get another piece. We'll get another asshole to fit in that chair and debate and yell things. None of this matters. The people and personalities don't matter. But we can rotate it. You know what I mean? Like, just like, all right, you're going down, Skip. Sorry. Joy. We're going to have to find another voluptuous, hot woman in Los Angeles to also not know what she's talking about. Can we do that? Is that going to be hard? Can we find one of those? Oh, we can have that one here by lunch? Perfect. All right, sorry, Joy. Yeah, you're gone. They haven't spoken yet. I mean, good God. Just evil people. If you read all the details are crazy. I mean, who knows if this is true, but we don't care. I don't care if it's true. You know why? Because they never cared if anything's true that they say on their TV show. So it's fun. That's what you get coming back. You get debate. You get this. If you're going to make your living off lying about debates and not caring about what you say, then we can throw the shit out there. No, you don't get the benefit of the doubt. Court of public opinion. That's what your whole show's about. Well, that is now. Right. Now you have Jason Whitlock going out there. People are pissed they're left out of this thing. Somehow Colin Cowherd came across looking good. They're like, oh, he's a good, nice gentleman, man. And that's what you can tell, because Colin Cowherd's insufferable on the air. So, behind the scenes, he's probably a good guy. These people have personalities on the air. So obviously they're going to be terrible, terrible human beings off the air. Yeah, Jason Whitlock said he stayed away from her. This is true. Roddy Pasco said he made a video. Whitlock's terrible, but that's kind of funny. Like, I knew to stay away from Joy because she had those big rack and peanut butter skin. Peanut butter skin. Come on. This is what sports media is, though. This is what it is. This is the worst. This is what we deserve. This shit's on all the time. 24 hours. These debates. It's horrible. That's what people aren't upset about enough about. People aren't upset enough about the trash product. I don't care if she slept her way to the top. I know people are upset about the whole line of like, well, this is such a weird testimony from her, the hairdresser. She's like, I warned her, don't sleep with that producer. He'll get mad if he finds out you're banging the linebacker. She's like, I got a plan for that. I'll just say you raped me. What? Why are you putting this in there? What's going on? Unreal. Feach says the sound guy being the Coke plug might be my favorite part. I know. The shed powder plug, right. That's what I mean. This whole story seems like the 80s, like 80s business offices. Like, women need to get ahead. They got to be slutty. They're using their sexual powers. Men are supplying Coke. They're doing Coke in the office. Also, they can say LeBron James is better than Jordan. Like, what are you? I don't understand what you're making. If they can debate if Saquon Barkley should break Eric Dickerson's record with huge graphics, say, what are the vibes? Now it's time for the vibe show. And now everyone's going back to the old videos. Like, you got Akbo has been hilarious. Like, he's like, I got to give my flowers to Joy. It was all just like, she just owned all these guys. Magic Johnson. There's a clip of Magic Johnson saying, like, and Joy, you are here, the woman of color in that chair women of color in that chair because of you. First of all, what chair? What fucking chair are you talking about? These absolute trash debate shows? Oh, my God. It's so funny. And then Black Twitter is like, oh, Magic got the recipe too. They're having a block party with this story. And the memes are incredible. The jokes are insane. And I'm watching and I'm reading every one of them, and we love them. And I don't feel bad at all. I honestly do not feel bad. Facts are non. Facts are non. It's their comeuppance for putting out that product and not caring. They sold your soul a long time ago. That's what people are shocked. I can't believe people are shocked. No, we're not shocked. Of course, we're not shocked that the worst people in the world, on the worst network in the world, creating the worst show in the world are bad people. No, we're not shocked by that. We're entertained by it. We love it. We're not shocked. We're like, yes, look at this. More details from a hairdresser. Incredible show. Peanut butter skin. Big rock and attack. The more I think about it, there's no way the story's true because Shannon Sharp was involved. Bill Cruz says she can't say Shannon Sharp harassed her because no one would believe she understood a word he said. Speaking of peanut butter, he has peanut butter in his mouth. I want to get a poem. What do you say we go to Ocean Ave on the Santa Monica? Because these stories are like, yeah, she went out to meet Skip and she wore a tight dress and pretty much came on to him, said she was going to sleep with him in order to get on the show. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing it because you've already been passed around. But then he offers $1.5 million for this hairdresser. That's why this story doesn't add up. The bet detective is on this. The bet detective doesn't care. Like you said, he's entertained by it. But this is all coming from the hairdresser who threw out this $1.5 million figure to make her look good. How good do you think your ass is for $1.5 million? And especially when Joy Taylor's tossing it around for a fucking spot gig on Speak for Yourself on a 2 p.m. show. So that doesn't add up. But Skip Bayless being a creep, that certainly adds up. Her throwing being the hooch. I mean, it's great. It's so great. The women are going to tear the women down. Women have it tough in the sports business world. This is not going to help. Well, I'll grant you that. I do feel bad for the ladies that do it the right way. I look at people say that. But you're also talking about these jocks around there. Of course, it's the only thing they listen to. But is Akbo really going to get you a job? How the fuck does he have that power? He's an idiot too. They're all idiots. But they watch, I guess. They're on numbers. Who knows? How are they not talking about this? Finally, they have something worth talking about. Finally, there's a show to watch. I would watch this show. Let's see the reality show of Fox Sports 1 of all these debate shows, the datings, the Real Housewives, whatever. I want to see Joy Taylor. I want to see the Akbos. I want to see Skip Bayless. Let's get them all back in there. Let's get some gossip going. Let's get them out to dinner. Let's get some fights. Let's get some drinks thrown on each other. Let's have sleeping around. Let's have cheating. And maybe at the end, you can discuss the Lakers' championship potential at the last 5 minutes. Then I'll watch your debate show. Finally, you made something worth watching, Fox Sports. Embrace that debate. Or whatever the fuck their slogan is. Embrace the debate. All right. So fun. So lewd. So hot. That's going to do it for today's Bottom Line Bombs. I'm in the box. Can make it out of the box. Skip Ladder 1.5. Thank you, everyone who is in the chat room. Billy Cruz, Ronnie Pasco, Feach Lamagna, JC from KC. Plenty of other ones. Stevie Elridge, who is caught back alive. Glad you see you're not going to trap. I'm glad you see Generates. I'm going to put that up on the board again. Stevie Elridge, who said he's never traveling to see his family again because he missed the live Bottom Line Bombs too much. You're damn right. That's the holiday spirit. If we learned anything today, it's that 2025 is no good. It's a no-go. At least not this week. We'll try again next week, but I'll tell you this right now, 2025. If next week is anything like this week, and it's only been half of a Monday so far, we're calling it quits. Not doing it. Bill Cruz says, over under Rick Bayless playing his brother in a made-for-TV movie about this. Rick Bayless, the famous chef, is Skip Bayless's brother. And Rick Bayless apparently hates Skip Bayless. Now, I mean, not like that was hard to figure out, but it makes a lot more sense. All right. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe. And, of course, subscribe to all the Bottom Line Bomb, all the shows on SGPN. Download the app. Get everything. Follow me for things. Let's battle Dave Goetta in the courts. Let's battle my terrorist videos on TikTok. We're going to war. I'm going full Alex Jones 2025. Fuck it. Let's go. I'll be back Thursday. Prop shows, college shows. We've got the college playoffs and, of course, the NFL playoffs. Big day for there, but that's going to do it for now. Thank you. Give me 5-star reviews. Tell 50,000 of your friends. And good night.